Hello everyone, it's Duke again, and have a new thing going on with my car. And sorry, just turn on some of these lights. But yeah, I had some coolant leak in my car, or on my car, if you want to say that. Um, where most of the leak was on top of the oil canister. So I had taken out my supercharger in order to do this. Supercharger's laying on the floor over there. Sorry, it's a hot mess in this garage right now. But ultimately, what was happening is I was getting coolant leaks all in here, in there, over there, and all around this oil canister. So, what I initially thought the issue was, and which I actually did a good thing by changing it, I changed the thermostat, which is sitting right over here. I changed that piece because all the gaskets were completely flat, and I think that was also leaking a little bit. On top of that, my water pump, which is this one right here, had to take off the water pump pulley off. But I changed this as well because for some odd reason, inside of it, one of the rotors, which I have it right here, was cracked. I don't know how that happened or how it happened. But anyways, found that issue as well. I had to change that. But ultimately, what I figured, the most common, I guess, most common issue is the connector pipe that connects from your thermostat and onto the back. So the gasket down here, which is completely, I can't even see it because it's all the way in there, but ultimately the gasket that's sitting flush in here into the thermostat basically leaks. And I don't know why, but I guess with wear and tear, I do have 130,000 miles on this car, and driving it constantly, I guess we'll do that to the gaskets. But for any of y'all who have this issue, I can assure you it could either be your thermostat, your connector pipe, which is most likely if you are building up um, fluid in here. That's definitely the biggest cause of it. But if you're also getting fluids down here, like anywhere in here, it could be very well be your water pump. And other than that, I mean, this pipe, honestly, which is the coolant to the engine, um, that most likely will not go unless something happens. I actually had to replace because I had snapped this air valve in there, so I had to replace that as well. But other than that, that's the most common issue with these A6s and the cooling leaks. If you have any other coolant leaks issues, I guess just hit me up in my comment section. But yeah, that's the most common part. If you have trouble taking out your supercharger, let me know. I can maybe put on a tutorial for that as well. But yeah, um, let me know what kind of issues you guys are having. All right, peace out. Hey guys, how are you? This is Duke again. Just wanted to talk about my last video a little more in depth because I think I was rushing through it. But first things first, if you are having coolant, please turn off your car. You will harm the engine if you are not running without coolant or low on coolant. So you definitely don't want that. Um, so what I did and what I told you guys in the video is first thing I changed was the thermostat. So the thermostats are basically made for some reason that there's no ventilation going in and out of them, so they tend to overheat a lot, and in that case it starts wearing out the gasket. So if you look at the gasket on my old thermostat, it's basically non-existent. There's nothing there, and coolant was definitely seeping out of it. So that's the first thing I changed, and I recommend changing this as well, especially if you have high mileage on your vehicle. The second thing is the water pump. I changed the thermostat, but I was still getting coolant on my belt and my pulleys. So the thermostat was the next thing that I needed to change. Uh, so if you look at this one, same thing with the gasket. It's completely flush with the metal, so it's got no gasket at all at this point. Another thing is, for some reason, this rotor right here was completely torn off. I'm not sure how that happened, but when I saw it, I definitely said I need to replace it. And the way these water pumps are designed, they're basically designed to start leaking coolant after a certain time. just to tell you that, hey, this is going bad and it may need to be replaced. So they start leaking a little coolant here and there just to indicate that it may need to be replaced soon. The next thing that I changed and I showed you in the video was this connector pipe right here. So this connector pipe is basically that goes in the back of the thermostat and onto the back of the engine. So what happened is, let me just find a spot, which is right over here. So this gasket was completely flush with the pipe, and there's a few cracks in here, which was definitely leaking coolant and onto the oil canister. So when I removed the supercharger, I still saw uh, fluid onto the oil canister, even though I replaced these two parts. I saw it in the video on an A7, which I think they all have, most of them have the same engine as the A6 3.0T, A7s, I think in the A5s and the S5s and the S's with the same years. So this was definitely the main cause of the coolant leak under the supercharger. So I would definitely change this. By the way, this pipe was about 45 bucks. I checked with my local Audi dealer and they had a website which I can get most of these parts at a discounted rate for about 30 to 40%. I would definitely check out your local Audi service guys just to see whether they have a website to get discounted rates on these OEM parts. This part cost me about 147. Retail I think is like 180. Thermostat was about 50 something bucks on the website. There's a bunch of other websites that I'm gonna post in the description that you can buy these original OEM parts cheaper than going to the dealership. The dealership is just a ripoff, and everybody knows that. So I wouldn't just get my parts directly from them unless some of these websites don't actually have the parts. Audi USA Parts, I think, is one of the websites that literally sells original OEM parts, and I believe most of the dealers also get them from that website. So I would definitely check them out as well. In order to do this, you have to remove your pulley, not your pulley, excuse me, your water pump pulley. You have to remove your supercharger. You have to remove your serpentine belt and your pulley belt, basically. If you guys are not familiar in how to do that, just let me know. I can post a video on that as well. I can post a video on how to remove the supercharger. I think there's a few other videos out there that already show you that. But if you are having trouble with it or trouble finding those websites, just let me know and I can post a video also, and we could take it from there. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section, and I'll definitely get back to you guys. All right. Thank you for your time. Bye.